Hello everyone, and thanks for joining me again. It's not here yet, but Christmas will just be around the corner. So over the next few weeks, I'm going to show you how to make a few of my favourite decorations. This one is a simple scroll of paper. Very easy to make. You just add your embellishments to it, or your little bits and pieces that I'm sure you've got in your craft rooms. They make perfect gifts for family and friends, as well as being a good fundraiser for your local charities, and look lovely on the Christmas tree. So let's get started. on our scroll. I'll go through everything that you need. It looks a lot, but in actual fact it isn't. The glue gun, of course, some pliers if you're going to use wire, some cutters, scissors, some double-sided sticky tape, pencil, a little small paintbrush, and a little bit of acrylic paint or Tipp-Ex will do. Some red ribbon or green ribbon, a little template here that I'll show you in a moment. This green sort of holly stuff, whatever it is, but you can get that virtually everywhere. Works do a whole roll of it for about £1. This is just a selection of different things I've kept over the years. You can use anything you want on this, and you'll see how you just build up. I won't use all of this obviously, but you can build it up. A ruler, some scissors, this is important, a tea bag, and some either music paper or something like that, something Christmassy that you can get usually from a charity shop. And once you've got one piece, just keep it. You just keep photocopying it, and we're going to dye it. You can buy this sort of paper like this, but if you want to keep the cost down, as I say, you can use this with a tea bag dyeing. And once you've bought one of these, to be fair, you can just keep photocopying it over and over again. So that's everything that you'll need. So to start off with, get your white paper with the music on, a tea bag, just squeeze it out, make sure it's not too wet, and just dab it over. That's all, literally all you do is dab it over, and you don't want loads of it on there. Don't make it too wet, and just keep dabbing it. This will just give it a bit of an old-fashioned look, and that's what we're looking for. So if you don't like this look, you can do it white, of course, but I like to do this. So that is as simple as that. Once you've done that, probably once this is dry, you could photocopy it as it is, and then you've still got your main sheet, and you just need to keep photocopying it. I think it needs a little bit more, but I'm just going to squeeze that out a little bit. Just make sure that everything is covered like that. There we go. Once you're happy with it, just get a warm iron and just iron it dry so it's nice and flat. So I've ironed this flat now. What I'm going to do is choose the best bit of music that I think, and I think it's this bit. I quite like it with the clefs in and everything. So this is your template. It's just a piece of card. It's a template scroll, and it's 7.5 centimetres wide by 6 centimetres long. And you just place that. This is a rough guide, so if you can see, I've got lines here. If you wanted to put the whole piece of music in, you can. It doesn't make any difference at all. So I'm just going to draw around it, and then going to cut it out. Once I've cut that piece out, I'm going to use double-sided tape to stick it to my thin card. So now I've cut my piece of music, I've double-sided taped it and put it onto the card, and now I'm just going to cut all the way around it. And also, if you want a bit of extra bling, you can use these pattern scissors just to cut along one edge or the two bottom edges, and then when you finished it, you can just trim it with a little bit of gold. But just see what you think. I'm just going to cut it out now. There we are. So he's all cut out. I'm going to use this edge as the inside edge and stick it so that we can see the different musical notes and things. So what I'm going to do is roll it. And the easiest way to roll it is use something obviously that's round-ish. Start at this end. Actually, that's got a straight edge. So what I'm going to do is maybe use a paintbrush. Anything will do, a pencil will do. Start off at that end. It just gives it a little bit more rather than make it. If you try to roll it without doing this, you tend to get a bit of a ridge in it. So just give it a bit of time. Keep rolling it. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Like I can train. Anyway, so that's that. Okay, so now you're there. What you need to do now is make sure that you've trimmed it where you want to trim it, so it looks like I need a little bit more there off of that red. There we go. Let's chop that off. This as well is that doesn't matter, you see, because it's got to look old. We want it to look old. And you can, if you want to, then use these to go along the side and along the top. So roll him up. Again, to the thickness that you want, which is roughly that. I mean, it's, I don't know, a small cigar, I suppose, big cigarette, I suppose, I don't know. But that sort of size. Get your glue gun and just stick it all the way down with your glue gun so that it's held nice and fast. Hold it until it's set, and there we are. That's the beginning of your scroll, and that's the most difficult bit you'll do. The rest is very creative and it's fun to do. So now I've put a piece of silver ribbon on there. I've just put a little bit of glue in here and pushed the ribbon in, and that's held it secure. Now I'm going to use this green piece to lay on the back, small piece of glue, lay it on there halfway around roughly, hold it for a second or two, bring it round quite tight and just wrap it like that. Okay, that'll keep it nice and firm. Then get your ribbon, again, a tiny bit, maybe just in the centre of the fold on the back, just to hold it in place while you mess around with it. You can pull all these little bits of glue off afterwards, as you know, you've seen in previous videos. Bring it around and tie it in a knot or a single tie and pop a bit of glue in it. That will suffice as well. Okay. Doesn't have to be uniform, doesn't have to be right in the front of it. It's quite nice, I think, to do these things a little bit off centre. I think they're a bit more fun. I don't like things to look too uniformed. So then bring your strings, your ribbon around, poke them on there, and there's your bow. So you've got your bow and you've got your greenery. Then I would just trim it off. As I said, I don't like uniform, so I just cut one short, leave one a bit longer, and I think it's much more fun that way. So now we're going to put some little decorations on it. This is ideal. It's cinnamon sticks or cassia bark, whichever you'd like to call it. That's far too big, so we just break a little piece off. But it's very Christmassy, isn't it? And it smells nice. So we pop a little bit of that on. Just put that on the side maybe. That might look quite nice. There we go, on the side. I've got these, and you buy these in strings. You've probably seen them in the pound shop for a whole row of them or box of them even. And I quite like these. So I chop them off, put a tiny bit of glue on, just a little bit, and start popping them on as well. And you can see how it's building up, can't you? You can use that, and you can maybe use a red one as well. Got red. You can get all different colours, actually. I've made these in silver and blue, and they're very pretty, and they just make a bit of a change from the red and green traditional scroll. Okay, so that's that. Then we've got tiny little fir cones. These are lovely, these little fir cones. I get them from a tree up near our school, and the secretary doesn't mind me doing it at all. She's given me permission, so I don't actually go into the school without asking, obviously. But sometimes they're actually on the road, and all you need to do is this. You just literally put a little bit of glue on. But any sort of things like this would do. It's an ideal time to start looking around for where you can see, if you see a big oak tree, you know, in a month's time, there'll be loads of acorns when the squirrels are finished with them. And that is really nearly done. I'm just going to add a couple more bits and I'll come back to you. So I've added another little thing to it. It's a little silver thing, quite sweet. It had a little bit of wire on it, and I've curled it round a cork, made a corkscrew of it around a cocktail stick, which looks quite pretty. And now the last thing to do, which actually does bring these things all to life, is to use either Tipp-Ex or a little bit of acrylic white paint. You only need very little, and just brush onto the little fir cones. Simple as that. But actually it makes a heck of a lot of difference. You can put some on the green as well, maybe a little bit on the cinnamon stick. It's been snowing, he's not going to miss out. So there we go, a little bit of white here and there, but that does bring it all back into life. It makes a difference to it. So I hope you like making those. They're very quick to make, very quick and easy, and you can add whatever you want to it, and they do look really pretty on the Christmas tree. Once that's dry, just go around with your tweezers and take off any bits of glue that's left, and then there we have it. There's our little scroll, and I hope you like it. If you like it, please subscribe, and I'll do another one next week probably, or in a few days' time. Bye bye for now.